today. They say it's peace, but the pockets still cry. Yes, the leaders are smiling, the streets are complaining, and the price of bread just flew away. Hey, wake up, Zimbabwe.
Good morning, Zimbabwe. The land where conferences are feasts, resolutions are prophecies, and the word empowerment somehow always skips the youth it's meant for. As the sun rises over Mutare, ZANU PF's 22nd Annual People's Conference is ready to begin, and like every good Zimbabwean event, it starts with a number that could build a hospital, pave a few roads, or feed an entire district. $4 million. Yes, 4 million. That's the cost of this year's grand political pilgrimage, where power meets plate and ideology meets ice cream. Party chairperson Opamchinguri Kashiri proudly announced that all preparations are done, delegates are ready, and the war is shining brighter than the hopes of the unemployed. She said the food alone could feed 10,000 people, but don't worry, the leftovers, yes, the crumbs of the revolution, will be donated to hospitals and orphanages, because in Zimbabwe, charity begins after dessert. And as the chefs sharpen their knives, ZANU PF spin doctors are also sharpening their tongues. Director of Information and Publicity Farai Marapira stepped forward to confirm what everyone already knew. That resolution number 1, the one declaring President Mnangagwa should rule until 2030, 2035, or life perhaps, is now an official party position. With the confidence of a man reading scripture, he said the president is a listening leader who believes the voice of the people is the voice of God, conveniently forgetting that lately the people's voice sounds more like groaning stomachs and unpaid bills than divine whispers. But as far as the ruling elite is concerned, this resolution is holy, the word is final, and the voice of the oligarchs is apparently the voice of heaven. Meanwhile, constitutional lawyer advocate Thabani Mpofu has politely poured cold water on this entire miracle, calling the resolution a vulgar piece of unmitigated buffoonery. He reminded the party that only Congress, not a conference, has the power to decide who leads, meaning that resolution number 1 is as illegal as it is desperate. According to Mpofu, this attempt to extend Mnangagwa's term is a circus act dressed in legal robes. Another festival of absurdities where the constitution takes the role of a clown. But don't expect anyone in Mutare to lose sleep over legality. The conference will proceed, the cheers will be loud, and the resolutions will pass, all in the name of the people who were never consulted. And as the ruling elite meet to discuss the future of power, the rest of the nation is stuck discussing the power of ZESA. Transport Minister Felix Mona has promised that Zimbabwe's airports will soon look world-class, with new projects in Mutare, Kariba and Harare Charles Prince Airport. He said this will help attract more tourists, perhaps the ones who read the latest Forbes magazine, which just crowned Zimbabwe as the world's best country to visit in 2025. Yes, believe it or not, Forbes called Zimbabwe the ultimate destination, describing it as a land of rugged beauty and deep ancestral spirit, where acacia trees sway in the wind and waterfalls roar like prophets on a Sunday live stream. Tourism Minister Barbara Rodzi says the recognition proves Zimbabwe is safe, peaceful and war-free. Though for most citizens, the daily fight to afford bread feels like a war of its own. Still, congratulations to us, the world's best country to visit, even if most of our own citizens can't afford to tour their own provinces. Back at the youth desk, Minister Tinoma Chakaire has revealed that 2.3 million young Zimbabweans are not in school, not working, and not in training, essentially forming the country's largest and most hopeless political party, the Party of the Unemployed. He says the crisis demands urgent and unified action, and to fix it, the government will host a Youth Empowerment Symposium at the Harare Showgrounds, where Mnangagwa is expected to launch the National Youth Empowerment Strategy, another glossy plan that promises to integrate the youth into the economy, though the economy itself seems to be trying to escape the country. The event will connect young people with government agencies, private sector players, and entrepreneurs. In other words, with everyone except the ones actually hiring. Meanwhile, Prosecutor General Justice Lois Matanda Moyo says fake academic certificates are flooding the system, with people even forging grade 7 results to get jobs that don't exist. She urged Zimbabweans to stop faking qualifications and focus on their passions, reminding them that you can be a millionaire without a degree. Though she forgot to mention that in Zimbabwe, the quickest way to become one is by joining the right party WhatsApp group. As the political elite gather under floodlights, the National Heroes Acre prepares for a different kind of ceremony. The late Brigadier-General retired Mpandasekwa Mzheri, a veteran of the liberation struggle and a devoted church member, will be laid to rest today. President Mnangagwa will preside over the burial, surrounded by praise, parades, and speeches. The full state machinery in motion to honor a man who fought for a Zimbabwe now run by men who forgot what he fought for. But the biggest insult to national dignity this week came from Mutoko, where a Chinese mining company paid the family of a Zimbabwean man shot dead by one of its employees the grand total of 15 cattle and $6,500. Yes, a human life priced cheaper than a second-hand Toyota Alteza. The deal, signed under a village chief's blessing, has sparked outrage, with the journalist Hopo Chingono calling it a grotesque mockery of justice. Once again, foreign miners spill blood, pay pennies, and continue digging, while local leaders clap politely for the killers. In the Bikita district of Masvingo, tragedy struck after a 4-year-old girl was poisoned by a neighbor angry that goats had eaten her crops. The revenge killing has left the nation shaken, with police arresting 3 suspects. Police Commissioner Paul Nyati has urged citizens to resolve disputes peacefully, though if he is looking for examples of revenge, he must as well attend the next ZANU PF Politburo meeting. Across the region, Madagascar is erupting. Soldiers have joined protests against President Rajoelina, who once came to power through a coup and now finds himself on the receiving end of his own playbook. The army is splitting, protesters are marching, and the parallels to Zimbabwe's 2017 coup are too eerie to ignore. Only this time, the people aren't waiting for tanks to bring them freedom. They are bringing it themselves. Internationally, Israel is set to receive its remaining captives from Gaza under a Trump-brokered ceasefire. Yes, Donald Trump, now back in power and already treating global diplomacy like a reality TV reunion special. He is expected to land in Israel before heading to Egypt for a peace summit joined by over 20 world leaders who will smile for photos while quietly wondering what Trump will tweet next. And finally, in sports, Ghana has qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup after beating Comoros 1-0, joining Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria as Africa's representatives. It's their 5th appearance, and the entire continent cheers them on, especially Zimbabweans who are still waiting to qualify for electricity before football glory. So there you have it, a country where the ruling party feasts while hospitals wait for leftovers, where resolutions rewrite the law, where youth wait for jobs that never come, and where our tourism is world class even if our economy isn't. But in typical Zimbabwean fashion, we smile, we survive, and we keep going, because sarcasm is our last form of protest. This is Zimwaves TV Morning News, where we don't just read the headlines, we roast them, reheat them, and save them with a side of political irony. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share this bulletin, because in a country where truth is rationed, your share button is an act of revolution.